Hey everyone, this is Trey with Cold Blooded Caffeine. Today we're going to start a new series called Coffee 101, where we go over some of the basic concepts of coffee, from the coffee plant itself all the way up to basic brew methods and getting the best tasting coffee for you at home. So in the first episode, I think it's probably the best place to start with the coffee plant itself. I have a coffee plant here with me. This is a young seedling that we have here at the shop. And we'll just talk about, some of the basic concepts about the plant itself. Currently, there are 129 different species of coffee, but we primarily talk about two within the coffee industry. Those are Robusta and Arabica. When speaking about the specialty coffee industry, which is our primary market, you're almost entirely talking about coffee Arabica. The plant itself is a very thin stalked plant. So as you see here, it's very thin stalked, and then it has numerous branches coming off of that one thin stalk. Most varieties of Arabica grow between 6 and 8 feet tall, and they take on average 3 to 5 years to produce fruit. So we have to consider, when these farmers are planting these coffee, that it's a longer term investment. It's not a crop that's going to produce the first year. Most coffee plants flower one time a year, and it's triggered by seasonal rainfall. Now keep in mind that these plants grow generally at high elevations in tropical climates. So they have very stable climates, and mostly the only thing that's changing is that seasonal rainfall to trigger that flowering. It takes up to 9 months after the flower develops for that fruit to be generated and to ripen. And a very important thing to keep in mind, as we will get into later, is that the fruit does not ripen at the same time, which causes problem, of course, when you're talking about picking and making sure that the fruit is ripe. The fruit itself are usually red, but you will also see some varietals that are yellow. And they resemble sort of like a red grape or like a cherry tomato. In most coffees, there will be 2 seeds inside, and we'll show you in a minute what the coffee seeds look like. That's what is actually roasted. Those are the beans that are actually roasted. There's 2 seeds or beans inside each coffee cherry. And then they're surrounded by an outer layer of like a skin, and then the pulp, and then I would say most of the coffee that you're probably consuming is hand-picked. And that's because that allows the farmers to optimize the level of ripeness. Machines aren't particular. They will go through and they will pick everything on that coffee plant, whether it's ripe or not, and so you get a lot of waste in that. So you will see the majority of the coffee that's, especially specialty coffee, is hand-picked, but of course that increases the amount of labor costs that's involved. So there's definitely a give and take there. So that is the basics behind the coffee plant itself. In the next episodes, we're going to go into processing methods for coffee, and what that means is how coffee is taken from its raw cherry form and processed into something that roasters like myself can utilize in order to provide a finished product for consumption. We'll also talk about the different ways that you can brew coffee, and maybe some more advanced ways that you can as well, getting into like pour over methods and espresso. So thank you for tuning in. Check back with us with our next video for our next Coffee 101 episode. Check us out on www.coldbloodedcaffeine.com. We're also on Instagram and Facebook. Until next time, thanks.